Mr. Taylor, you say your fiancée, Ms. Jackson, dropped a bombshell on you when she was 9 months pregnant and told you that you may not be her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
She later changed her mind and said you are Raymond's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you're hoping he's yours, you're here today to prove that Raymond is not your biological child.
No.
Ms. Jackson, you admit to an affair during the window of conception with Mr. Green, who will join us momentarily, but you are in court today to prove to Mr. Taylor that he is your son's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Taylor, what is riding on today's results?
Well, this relationship, I've been through too much. I've done too much for the kids. I've been there since day one, raising this kid, fathering the kid, clothing the kid. I do everything for this child. And the only thing that I do know is that if this child ain't mine, I'll be walking out this courtroom today a single man.
You all are engaged. You have a family together. So there is a lot at stake here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
In your opinion, do you believe he has a right to doubt this?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I believe that he has a right to doubt it because I gave him the right to doubt it, but I feel that he knows how much I care for him, and I am praying today that these results show that he is the father of Raymond because our relationship is riding on it.
How did you end up cheating? What happened in the relationship that drove you to do that?
A few years ago, we just packed up and we moved to Florida for a fresh start, and I met Mr. Green in a shelter. And we ended up becoming intimate, but Mr. Taylor left me and my children stranded in Florida while he went away to, I guess, chase his dreams, knowing that we had nobody and knowing that we had nothing. And I felt alone and I felt as if I had no one. And I felt that Mr. Green was there for me when Mr. Taylor was not there for me.
Mr. Taylor, did you leave her stranded?
Yes, for a job opportunity in Atlanta. You gotta understand, it was my girlfriend and our kids in a shelter. I couldn't do nothing there because it wasn't no job opportunities in Orlando. It was one in Atlanta, so I went for it. I tried to get in contact with her. When she was there, she was at a youth shelter. She was at a youth shelter, and at the youth shelter... He didn't try to get in contact with me. At the youth shelter... I tried to get in contact with him. I didn't even know that he was in Atlanta for 2 days. I was blowing his phone up, calling him, and he was like, well, you're gonna be upset when I tell you where I am. You're lying.
And he was like, I'm in Atlanta.
Wait a minute, wait. So he left for a job because he said he couldn't find work.
He left for a possibility of a job. He left because he felt that there could be more opportunity of a job here than it was in Florida.
The point is you moved to Atlanta because you thought you could make things better, to get a better life.
No, I knew I could make things better, and I did.
And you did.
He didn't.
I did. When I called to try to reach for her, she was having an affair with Mr. Green.
I had no one to turn to but Mr. Green. Mr. Green was the person that was there for me.
And what Mr. Green did for you? I've been here taking care of these kids. Mr. Taylor didn't send any money. Raymond got my last name. Where Mr. Green at?
Mr. Taylor didn't send any money while he was away.
All right. Let me hear you one at a time because I want to understand this.
This supposed job opportunity that he had, during this job opportunity, he never sent me or the kids any money. We barely had any contact with him. There was no one for me to turn to but Mr. Green. He was the person there for me, giving me emotional support, you know? That was what I needed at that time.
So how long after Mr. Taylor left for Atlanta did you turn to Mr. Green?
A few weeks.
3 days later. She was pregnant by October 12th. I left September 14th. That was less than a month.
No,
that's a lie.
I didn't do it right away.
Ooh, I'm so mad.
If he would have never left us there in the first place, this whole situation could have been avoided. If he would have just been a man about the situation. Be a man about the situation.
He have no money.
Leave a message.
Kids was on the verge of getting taken away.
I'm going to go.
He's saying,
but
Ms. Jackson,
when I left,
you never sent no money.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. When he left, he says he left to get the job, and he said he tried to call you. Do you believe he just left and never called? Is that what you believe?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm certain that he did. I received every other message from the shelter. I received every other message.
So when you're at the shelter and you're not getting messages, in your mind you're saying, he just left us.
I was calling him as well, Your Honor. I was blowing his phone up for 2 days straight, leaving voicemail. I was calling off of another resident's phone, leaving text messages. So if he turns his phone on, even if he doesn't receive the voicemails, he received the text messages of me asking him where was he at. Right. So he knew.
So the bottom line is, you thought you left to better the family.
Yes.
You thought he just left.
Yes.
And so then you get involved with Mr. Green.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you all deciding to be boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah,
Were you just having
boyfriend and girlfriend.
a sexual relationship?
It was a rebound thing, Your Honor. It was a rebound. He was going through a situation with the mother of his child, and I was going through a similar situation with Mr. Taylor. And we connected on that level because we were both going through the heartache of losing someone that we cared about and still wanting to be in that relationship. You know, it wasn't right, but it was emotions at the time. You cannot control your emotions when you feel that you want someone and you know, I want Mr. Taylor to be there, but I couldn't have that at the time. So I felt that I wanted someone there to care for me, Your Honor.
So because I left to try to better the family, that gave you the justification to cheat? Because you were still in a relationship
We weren't technically together.
Yes, we was.
If somebody leaves you and your kids with nothing, you're technically not together. You don't have to say we're broke up for us to be done.
So you saying if your husband leave out of state for a job opportunity, y'all single? I left September 14th. She was pregnant on October 12th. Now you tell me, you know how long it takes to conceive a child, right? You know how long it takes afterwards to find out that you're pregnant. It takes a minimum of 3 weeks. So it tells you that she was intimate with him within a week of me leaving. To her to find out by the 12th, 28 days later that she was pregnant.
In your statement to the court, you said you didn't learn about this until she was 9 months pregnant?
Yes.
Explain.
Well, a guy that was on Facebook, he inboxed me, basically telling me that LaJoy was pregnant by Mr. Green. So that was my first time even hearing about it. I confronted her.
Now, have you talked to her? You've been talking to her on the phone?
Yes.
And she's never mentioned I'm pregnant?
No, but I confronted her about it.
We didn't have a lot of contact with each other,
yes, we
and
did.
I was still having a lot of, emotional depression over
our
relationship.
Facebook contact saying it was Umar Jr. though.
The only reason that I did that, Your Honor, is because I felt as if I was holding on to the last strand of our relationship. I knew that if I told him about Mr. Green possibly being the father, that he would be gone and there would be no chance of us. So I wanted to try to have him for just a little longer. I love this man. This is my heart. I should have thought about his emotions too, that he was gonna get attached to the child. And, I didn't think of that. I just put myself first. And I told him, I tell you all the time that I love you.
I wanna understand this clearly. You're 9 months now. Mm-hmm. You didn't find out she was even pregnant.
I found out she was pregnant, but I thought it was by me.
At the 9-month mark is when you learn about Mr. Green.
Yes, officially.
When does she change and flip the script and say, now it's Mr. Green's?
I got incarcerated for driving without a license, and I was only locked up for like a day. And then I got out of jail and went to go see her, and that's when she told me about it.
And then what was your reaction?
I was mad. I didn't know what to do.
And so at the point you told him, Ms. Jackson, what you just needed to lay it all on the line,
It took me so long to tell him because that's hard. How do you tell somebody that you love that you did them so wrong,
You love somebody, how much you want to do them wrong.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes,
That big of a mistake.
Everyone makes mistakes, even though my mistake was a great mistake. And if I could take it back, I would, Your Honor, but I can't. And I pray, I'm praying that he is the father.
While I was gone and she was pregnant, she was trying to get Ryan the whole time to be with her. Be with me. Can I name the baby after you? I put this on my daughter, man. She had a Magic Jack app on her phone. When you on Wi-Fi, you could text people. She was texting him. She was asking, can I name the baby after you?
Who is she texting?
Mr. Green. Can I name the baby after you? This, that, and the third. Mr. Green saying, no, won't want no parts. And then when I come around, since he don't want to be there, after she pursued to try to get him in the picture, he didn't want to, she threw me in the picture. That's why I believe.
He knows.
What?
He knows the situation behind that. Your Honor, I was messaging Mr. Green because I knew that he was potentially the father of my child. And yes, I was messaging him trying to be on his good side because I didn't want us to be on bad terms.
How did you see her messages? You looked through her phone?
I went through her phone.
And you could see it all there.
I can't trust her.
Jerome, it's time for me to hear from Mr. Green. Will you please escort him into the courtroom?
Right up here, watch your step.
Mr. Green,
How you doing, Hon?
sit up straight for me in
Yes.
court, young man. You did have a sexual relationship with Miss Jackson.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I correct?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What was the nature of that relationship?
I guess I met her in the shelter, and she when I met her, she told me that he had left her for a rap career in Atlanta, just left and didn't want nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with her, didn't want to take care of the kids. So I'm
I
sitting
heard
there
what
and I
you just
feel
said,
bad.
right?
So I sitting there, I feel bad. She got 2 kids. So I sat there and I felt bad. We vibed, and then I was going through stuff with my baby mom at that time. Then it went to then it got to a physical level. When we left the shelter, I just got I got my place, my condo, 2-bedroom bathroom by myself. I got that. So I told her that she can come stay with me because I don't want her on the streets. The whole time she be laying in bed with me. I look over, she messaging him stuff.
Really? You see that
light,
she's
right?
messaging Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't really know what for. So I didn't really care. But like I said, she told me he didn't care. He stranded me down here with the kids. He don't care about the kids. So I'm assuming it's all right. It's what it is.
Yeah.
So, Miss Jackson, it sounds like you saw this as a potential relationship.
It was a partnership.
It was shacked
But,
up.
Your Honor, I was financially unstable. After I left the shelter, I didn't know where I was gonna go from there. So,
So,
for a
okay,
month.
now I want to understand this. You move in with
I
Mr.
know.
Green.
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
know.
At what point do you go back to Mr. Taylor?
When he dropped her.
No, he didn't drop me. I left.
When he dropped her.
No, I left.
When he dropped her.
So wait a minute,
know
Mr.
the
Green,
story.
is that, how you know the story? From the text
too
you
much
saw it
clues.
on the phone?
No, too much clues. I'm an intelligent person, Your Honor. Too many clues. Too many clues. Everything I'm saying is
Your
from
Honor,
clues.
this man
Just
thinks
like
he's
this
the
child ain't
smartest
mine.
man in the world.
Just like this child ain't mine.
He knows
I'm
it's a
quite more smart
possibility.
than you.
Hold on, let's not get out of control. The story is you did ask her to leave the house.
We got in an argument. Everything went downhill from there. And after that, she had to go. I'm not gonna lie. Took stuff, put it outside. I don't
Your Honor, he is crazy. This man is crazy. I left, Your Honor. After the argument, it wasn't that he put me out and put my stuff out.
How did you end up back with Mr. Taylor then?
When I went back to Michigan, we ended up talking and we got back together.
Was this before or after Raymond was born?
This was before. This was while I was just,
Wow, she was still telling me it was mine.
You're back now with Mr. Taylor during the pregnancy.
yes, Your Honor.
And the child's last name is Taylor.
Yes, Your Honor.
After she asked him, can she name it
That-
Ryan Green, and he wasn't going for it.
So you did get a text that asked, can I name the
She
child?
Blow
bothered
it
me
down.
for 2 years trying to get this.
Blow
I
him
haven't
down.
had
Blow him
any
down.
contact with him since
Blow
my
him
son
down.
was
I
a month
wish I could
old.
put up my
Blowing-
Facebook right now. All messages you trying to ask me to get DNA tests. Stop stunting on, please.
Right, that
Please.
means you're a deadbeat. If you
Please.
know that you're a potential father, why wouldn't you want to take a DNA test to see if this your child? That's deadbeat status.
You should know who the father is. That's your issue
It
right
doesn't
there.
matter.
Because I'm here and he
It's
here.
about you.
Why?
If you know that
Maybe
you're
if you
a
been
potential
faithful to
father,
me, wouldn't have issue.
Let's get some order. Ms. Jackson, I thought it was our understanding that you believe Mr. Taylor was the father.
Your Honor, I don't know which one is the father because
Okay.
I had sex with both of them.
all-
around
That's
the
it is.
Thank you. That's
She don't
what.
know.
That's
Well,
it.
knowing that-
That's why we're here, just to tell the truth. So the bottom line is you really don't know. You
Yes,
told
I
him
know.
he was the father. You messaging him as well
Telling him he the father.
because you don't know.
Yes.
Okay, that's the truth.
But
you
like-
signed the birth
That's it.
certificate.
No, I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was away from me not to sign it because I probably would have signed it and probably would have paid child
But
support right
now,
for a child that
Mr.
ain't mine.
Taylor, you have stepped up to the plate
Yeah,
and you
I
support
do everything.
the children.
I do everything for all her kids.
Thank you.
Clothes, I got that. Food, I got that. They want to play, I got that. I'm their best friend. They all tell you. They play with me more than their own mama. I'm the playmate. Daddy, let's play. Let's play fire truck. Let's play dinosaur. Let me climb in your black. Let me play tickle claw. Little games that we made up.
And if this child is yours, after hearing the testimony presented today and understanding that a few more clues have come together in your minds,
Yeah.
T.
can you then still work on this relationship?
Don't do it.
I don't know.
Mr. Green, what if it's determined that Raymond is your biological child? Then what?
Then it's my child. I want something to do with the child. I don't want nothing to do with her. That's dead. They ain't nothing.
You're a deadbeat.
You don't want a daddy. You want a
permanent
permanent babysitter for your children, all right? You want to be able to go
No, I
out.
don't.
You don't want
I don't
no
need
father,
a babysitter.
all right? You
I don't need a
that.
permanent baby.
All right,
All right.
let's calm down. Let's go to the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Taylor versus Jackson, when it comes to 3-year-old Raymond Taylor, as to whether his biological father is Mr. Taylor or Mr. Green, it has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Green.
I figured. That's fine. If that's mine, that's good. And I respect you for being there.
I was about to say, you got a good child though.
Ms. Jackson, I know that was not the news you wanted today. So where do we go from here?
It's over.
Ms. Jackson, I know you were hoping that the result would be different today because you wanted to save your family.
Your Honor, I honestly don't know where to take it from here.
That's why I'm here. You're seeking comfort under the covers. When something goes wrong, when you feel fear, when you feel scared, you jumping in the bed with a man because maybe he can save me. Baby, you got to save yourself. Mr. Fye, you have petitioned the court for paternity tests on the defendant's 2 children, 2-year-old Nathan and 8-month-old Samuel. Additionally, you have requested a lie detector test for the defendant because you claim her infidelity has not only created paternity doubt, but has destroyed your relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hennie, although you've admitted to cheating in the past, you say you have no doubt that Mr. Fye is your children's biological father. So, Mr. Fye, tell me how important these results are today.
You know, Your Honor, these kids, they call me daddy every day. And, it kind of hurts me because as they got older, the kids don't look like me.
They do look exactly like
They don't
you.
look like me. I mean, Nathan, he's got different futures than what I have. And, little Sammy, he kind of looks more like Nathan too. They both look alike. And, little Sammy's got my full name, except for he's the 4th. And I don't think it's right.
And so you claim that her infidelity in the past has caused you to doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
I was gone away for 45 days. And when I came back, people, even friends, told me that she was messing around with a guy from the neighborhood.
We were not messing around.
That's not what my friends told me. But when I confronted the gentleman about it, he came, I was on the phone with him, and he told me they did mess around twice. Well, when I confronted her about it, she denied it. So I had him on the cell phone. And then when I confronted her with the cell phone with him on it, she started crying, and then she admitted to me she cheated on me once.
So you did admit that, Miss Hennie?
Yes, Your Honor.
You cheated on him while he was gone.
One time.
One time.
More like 4
It only takes one time. We know that in paternity court.
Right. But this was about 2 months before I got pregnant by him.
And so you're saying it was not in the window of conception.
Right.
Mr. Fye, you don't seem to be buying that.
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I've caught recent text messages in her phone of her talking to her ex-boyfriends. And, we've been together for 6 years on and off. And every time we've split up, we wasn't even split up a week or two, and she was already messing around with some other guy.
All right, so you have doubts surrounding both children. Let's talk about Nathan first. Explain to me why you doubt.
I have an oval-shaped head, okay, Your Honor? My ears are close to my head. He has a block head. A block head. His ears have a dip in them. I don't have none of them.
I'm sorry, but I have dips in my ears. He has my ears.
I don't have big ears like he does. His sticks out more, and he has that block head. I don't have a block head. Mine's more of an oval shape.
So you're saying your head is an oval shape?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why you submitted this. And you're saying Nathan has a different shaped head than you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say his ears don't fall like you.
Yes, correct.
So you're saying because of the way his head is shaped, he is not your son.
Correct. I don't think he's mine.
So are you saying the other man had a similarly shaped head?
Yes, Your Honor.
Really?
Yes.
As Nathan?
Yep.
And
correct.
you've seen this other man enough to be able to compare?
Yes. He used to be a close friend of mine.
Oh. Miss Hennie, how did you end up sleeping with your boyfriend's close friend?
Our kids hung out. When he went away for that 45 days, we were hanging out with our kids, and it didn't start out that way, but it's just one thing led to another, and
45 days is only a month and a half.
yeah.
So were you all in a good relationship when he went away?
I mean, not really.
So bottom line is he was gone, and then this friend was over with the kids. One thing led to another. You say you slept with him. How many times?
Once.
He told me twice.
He confessed this to you.
Yes, Your Honor. I suspected them messing around because I was gone, and him and his girlfriend had split up right before I left too. But when I asked her, she told me, oh, I went over and set up a play date. I told her I didn't know setting up a play date is what you guys call it nowadays. Because, I mean, cheating on somebody, I mean, that's not a play date unless it's, a play date for adults, but not for no kids. And then when I confronted him about it, he was like, yeah, we messed around twice.
Let's go to your doubts around Samuel.
Little Sammy, me and her was split up at the time, and it came down to it where she was telling me, oh, I'm out with my friends, but then again, she was with some other guy. And it's the same guy that I think was Nathan's dad.
No.
That's not true?
Nope.
So you believe Samuel and Nathan have the same biological father?
Correct.
And you think they're both your friends' kids?
Yes.
And Miss Hennie, you say that's not true.
It's not true.
But you all were broken up, so were you seeing somebody else during the time?
No.
No one at all?
Nope.
You're lying.
So you didn't cheat on...
I did not cheat on him.
At all?
No.
She's lying.
And why do you know she's lying?
Because, I mean, the guy told me he messed around with her twice already.
Oh,
and
because he said twice. You think it's...
And I mean, he's never lied to me in the past before. And then when I was, when we split up, that's who she ran back to. 3 weeks after him and her, got done, me and her got back together, and that's when she said she was pregnant with Sammy.
There was like a 2-month difference between any pregnancy and me cheating on him. There's no way that any of these kids are not his. If he doesn't think they're his kids, then I have their birth certificates that he signed.
I'd like to see those. Jerome?
She cheated on me 4 times, Your
It was
Honor.
not 4 times, it was 1
4
time.
times?
4 times.
1 time.
So these are the birth certificates for the children. The first, Nathan James Pye. Father's name, Samuel John Pye III. The second child, Samuel John Pye IV. Father, Samuel John Pye III. So you presented these birth certificates to show the court what exactly?
That he signed those saying that he is the father.
Did you sign them, or was your name just listed by the mother?
I signed them. My father has always been in my life, so I figured, I don't want to be, denying these kids.
So this signature above your name, that is your name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Not just typed in, but signed?
Yes.
And you admitted that you actually executed these birth certificates?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the time you executed them, did you believe you were the biological father?
Well, Samuel John Pye IV, I had signed the paperwork because when she had him at the hospital, I had signed the affidavit sheet because me and her was talking about names. I had to go downstairs and take care of some work business, and when I came back up, she already filled out the name and everything and shipped it out.
You're the one that told me to name him that.
I did not tell you to name him that.
So you're saying for the child that carries your name, Samuel Pye IV, you're saying you didn't give her permission to give him that name?
No, not for his name. We were discussing 2 different names at the time. And then when I left to go downstairs, that's when she filled out the rest of the form and she gave him my name.
Was the reason why you didn't give her permission to use the name explicitly because you had doubt?
Yes, Your Honor. I had doubt that he wasn't mine, so that's why I didn't really want to give him my name. And then me and her, we talked about it. No, we talked about it, and then we come up with like 2 different names, and we were going more with the other name than this name. And she ended up doing that when I went downstairs to take care of some work.
When he went downstairs in the hospital, Miss Hennie, did you take it upon yourself to just give the baby his name?
No, Your Honor. It was his idea to name the baby after him to keep that name going on.
So, Mr. Pye, you signed the birth certificate, so what's the big deal about your name? You're still the legal father.
Today, if I find out the kids ain't mine, I want, Samuel John Pye IV, I want his name taken from him. And Nathan, I want my last name pulled from the birth certificate.
Ultimately, you claim if the paternity test doesn't go your way, and you are not this children's biological father, this relationship is over.
Correct.
Or if the lie detector proves that Ms. Hennie is not telling the truth,
Then it's done between us.
then the relationship is over as well.
Correct.
Ms. Hennie, were you in a relationship with this other guy for a while?
No, we were not in a relationship.
And you still continue, only slept with him that one time?
Yes.
It was more than once.
No.
4. There's 4 times she cheated on me.
4 times or one time?
One time.
I've caught several text messages in her phone of, her
Talking to a
her
friend
ex-
is not
no,
cheating.
Her ex-boyfriends and stuff like that, like, oh, I had a good time, stuff like that. That's not, I don't play that.
Tell the court, how has this paternity doubt affected the way Mr. Fye treats the children?
He treats the kids just fine. It's just when we fight, he throws that in my face. Well, how do I know these kids are mine? He just makes comments like that.
But you don't treat the children any differently, Mr. Fye?
No, I love them kids to death. But, if they ain't mine, like I said, I want Sammy's name taken from him, and I want Nathan's last name taken.
Well,
And I don't want to be in no relationship with her no more.
But really, if you love the kids so much, is that what's in their best interest, you believe?
She knows if the kids ain't mine, she knows I'll still be there for them kids, but it's just I don't want to be with her. It's just a repeated over and over thing for her, and she thinks that it's just fun and games, and I'm no fun and
see,
games.
none of this is gonna have to happen though, because when you see these results,
Well, we'll find out.
you'll see.
When we find out, if it comes back that I am the kid's father and you told the truth, I'll apologize to you. But
Good.
other than that, I'm done.
So tell me, what is the relationship like now? Do you have any trust? It doesn't
He has
sound like
no
you
trust at all.
Miss Hennie too much at all, Mr. Fye.
Yeah, I don't trust her at all. Ever since she's
I
cheated
can't
on
even
me,
go to work without having to text him and call him on every break, the whole break,
Now, see,
my
that-
whole lunch.
That's a lie.
I can't even go to
She
work
does that
without.
to me every time I'm at work. If I don't answer my phone,
No.
because I'm a security officer. If I'm at work and I can't answer my phone, she's accusing me of cheating. Oh, which girl you with today?
No.
I'm at work. I even send her
That's
pictures
what he
that I'm
does
at
to
work.
me. I don't do that to him. I'm usually sleeping while he's at work.
This sounds like trust issues all
Yes,
over the place.
a lot of
Jerome.
trust issues.
So this is affecting the family.
Yes.
What have you done thus far, Miss Hennie? It just seems like he doubts everything you do. He doubts the children. Have you done anything to try to prove to him that these are his children?
Yeah. I've
When
told him
both of the-
anything possible, anything you want me to do.
When both of
That's
the
why
boys,
I'm here today.
When both of the boys was
To
born,
prove to him, these are your kids. I'm not lying to you. We've been together for on and off for 6 years. If he didn't want to be with me, he could have did this a long time ago.
Wait, listen, Your Honor. When the boys was born, I asked her to establish DNA test right there at the hospital.
No, you did not.
She wouldn't
And you
do
could
it.
have did that before you signed anything. But
I sat there and I even told her, I said, I want DNA done on both of the boys. She wouldn't do it. Oh, I ain't got my ID. I'll go home and get your ID.
You felt like she was avoiding it?
Correct.
that's not true. He was back and forth from our house to the hospital countless times. If he wanted to bring my ID, he could have brought my ID.
So you have not been avoiding a DNA
No.
test?
If I was avoiding it, I wouldn't have got it for this.
So you are asserting that you only had sex with this family friend one time, and you are proof positive, certain, that Mr. Fye is your children's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm ready for the results. Jerome? First off, we're gonna do the paternity test, and then I will get to the lie detector results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Fye versus Hennie, when it comes to 2-year-old Nathan Fye, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Fye, you are the father.
Who doesn't look like who?
I apologize for that. Now let's see Sammy.
Second result. In the case of Fye versus Hennie, when it comes to 8-month-old Samuel Fye IV, It has been determined by this court. Mr. Phi, you, in the case of Phi versus Hennie, when it comes to 8-month-old Samuel Phi IV, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Phi, you are the father.
Change what name?
Apologize for that.
Yeah.
But we still have the lie detector test. Jerome, the results, please.
Here you go.
I've reviewed these lie detector results, and in light of the results, I would like to see you both in my chambers. Court is adjourned.